Welcome to Presente, a space and community that vibes on being in the moment, something we are relearning how to do in a fast moving world.
We are excited to be part of a growing movement that talks about topics that we feel haven't been talked about in our Latin culture and womanhood.
Be present with us. Take a pause and break down societal norms.
Redefine the meaning of existing. Welcome to Presente, the podcast.
Imposter syndrome. Hello to our fabulous Presente listeners. Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Positive Vibes brought to you by Jissela and I. Today we want to speak on imposter syndrome. Now, some of you may have heard of this term and some of you may have not, but most of us may have experienced this at some point in our lives. For instance, have you longed for a change from your current circumstances or wanted to have a particular career, salary, or status? You dream of the days that your fantasies and aspirations come true. And then people think you're crazy for doing so. Well, you are not alone, my distant friend. In fact, many of us chasing our dreams have gone through many obstacles to get to where they are and be recognized for it.
Do you ever get the feeling walking into a crowded room, feeling like you don't truly belong? That you are just lucky to be existing in this space? Instead of remembering that you had to do a whole process before reaching this very room? I think we can all point to a time where we may have felt imposter syndrome. What is imposter syndrome? According to Google, it is the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. First of all, let's break down the difference between luck and hard work. To be in luck is to maybe finding the exact amount of cash you needed in between a couch to do your nails when you forgot your cash at home. True story, by the way. Luck is to prosper by chance, or when your boyfriend or girlfriend gets you dinner and you don't gotta cook, or you happen to not forget the important document you needed for that thing you needed. That's lucky. How many times have you been called lucky in your life, especially when you spend hours working on that project, hours preparing for that interview, hours preparing for that job or trying to learn your job? It's so frustrating because no one has a clue how you got to where you needed to get. That is the hard work involved. Imposter syndrome is like a creeper. Remember, you belong here just as much as everyone does. While some things may be by chance or the universe meeting you halfway, the work you put in is not invaluable. Don't downplay yourself. How does imposter syndrome affect you? There are many ways that it can affect a person. I'll just talk about a few here. Applying to a job. I know I've definitely felt this one. It's when you don't meet all the requirements or years of experience and you feel like a fraud for even trying to apply to that specific role that you would like. You kind of put yourself in a corner like, oh my gosh, I can't, I don't meet everything and all the requirements. And something, statistically speaking, men actually apply for the roles and sometimes women just don't do it because, again, they feel like they can't check off the list from that role. You know what? We won't know everything, but apply anyway, do it scared. And, when it comes time, and if you so do get the job, which I hope you do get the job, you're going to learn, you're going to take things step by step, you're going to thrive in the role that you are going to do. So just, try to give yourself some grace and just go for it. I know it's difficult. Trust me, I've been there and it's still hard some days, but just go through it because we exist in a space where we're enough. And we have to, be like, okay, I'm enough here in this space as well. Another way imposter syndrome can affect you is, believe it or not, this is a true story, is if you're not a model or tied to a company, people like to question why or who you think you are, trying to do this sort of thing. There's many content creators on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and then, all of a sudden people see you trying to do something that is not within societal guidelines. And they're like, oh, who does she think she is? Or who does he think he is? Who do they think they are for, trying to do this? Then, you also want to be cute in life. And, you take, cute pictures of yourself, or, you show that you're having fun or whatever. And people will go and say, like, oh, who do they think they are? They think they're a model. I've actually been told that before by certain people because I was trying to do something different. Deep down, I'm like, I asked this person, I'm like, but is it your profile social media page? Like, why are you so worried about it or concerned about what I'm doing? I don't go around asking you like, oh, why aren't you showing like this side of yourself? I don't ask that question. I follow the beat of my own drum. If you feel like displaying a side of you that people do not see, or you have a talent that you want to show, go for it. First of all, you don't need anybody's permission. As I said before, there's space enough for everyone. And this applies to any type of creators out there. Don't hold yourself back just because someone else is trying to downplay your efforts. Some people don't even have the courage to try. You keep doing you and let that person be. As Jennifer says, leave them in the air. Something
That's right.
else. Something else is thinking that you can't be talented or worthy of something because society deems it as quote unquote unrealistic or not looking like the type of person for a certain role, a position, etc. And a story that I'm actually going to mention here on the podcast is actually about Bridgerton star Nicola Cowlin. I believe that's how you say her last name, aka the beautiful actress that plays Penelope Featherington, who was actually recently made fun of from a British journalist for her body. First of all, that journalist should be fired and ashamed for bringing down first of all, a fabulously talented actress and one who's very humble as well. She fights for causes. She is talented within her own right. That is what got her role on Bridgerton, which is a very popular show currently. So firstly, let's look at that. And second, she's an inspiration for many women out there, showing women that, hey, it's okay to love the image that you're in, the body that you're in, and, to show that confidence, because society will try so many ways to stab women, left, right, up, and down. And it's actually at this point in 2024, maybe we got to do better as a community and shove it off to the side, because everybody, again, should be allowed to showcase who they are in their talent, in where they, want to shine through their best. And we have to let people like sparkle, as the queen says in Bridgerton, the diamond, who sparkles. And I just want to add, that she belongs for all I can see. Nicola, you are giving us your best self. So get it, girly.
Gisela, you are right on target with all the points that you just mentioned. Ultimately, for those who have something to say, something negative, or try to downplay your efforts, it says a lot more about them. Perhaps they're comfortable where they're at, or they don't see it no other way, but just like the basic daily routine. In my experience, I've gone through many jobs. You learn as you go. And one thing too, I recall is, wanting to make career changes. I think people, especially like older generations, my grandmother, I'm going to use her as an example. I love her dearly. But, when I was switching jobs at a younger age in my 20s, it was like, oh my God, Jennifer, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop, leaving this job or moving on to the next. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look right. You got to stay put, stay in one job, get your benefits and your pension, your 401ks. You have to be, devoted your whole life to this job, this role, this position, this company. And I was just like, oh, no, 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 not I. Not I. It was great while it lasted, but I was pursuing college and degrees for a reason. I didn't want to be stuck there and not have a chance to actually go for some of the things I'm good at or passionate about or just even curious about. And I took that leap of faith. I put, my best foot forward. And I said, you know what? This chapter's ending after 8 years. I have to leave you guys. I've learned a lot. It's paved the way, but I really want to get into the fields of media communications. And here we are. I've worked with many companies. It's been great. Great teams that I've been a part of and projects that I've worked on, all great. I don't regret a thing, but I would have never had those opportunities had I not pursued them and chased that, and then try to figure it out on my own. Many people don't even want you to make that leap of faith. You think you're delusional for doing so. It's unsafe. When truth is, you're not meant to always stay put and place in a box. If you're passionate about something, even if it becomes like a side hustle, do it. Just do it. If it's 30 minutes a day, little by little becomes a lot. And I think more people need to tap into that and look at it in that light, because it can just make your life better as well. Many people have jobs that they're not happy with, but yet they're complaining and complaining and they're not doing nothing about it. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. That's like shooting yourself in the foot. Go for it. Go for it. And if people are going to give you the side eye, if people are going to have their bad comments or not be supportive, then who cares? Those are not your people. And this isn't, their journey to take anyway. And just continue on and pretty much just go out for whatever you set your mind to. That's what I've learned throughout, my, I guess, career experience as I went from job to job. But, I definitely think those who do take the leap of faith, they're not as recognized until, quote unquote, you make it big, or you're on screen or something. And it's like, you've been putting in the work, and that's, people don't see that part. And that's a shame. Imposter syndrome mind shift. Breaking imposter syndrome. My advice to you is faith it till you make it. Have faith and also apply yourself to it. Whatever it is that you are in seek of, apply yourself to it. That 1% a day, in the long run, a little by little, adds up to a lot. Many people think that success happens overnight. Many people give up in the early stages because they are not supported or don't know exactly what they are doing. For lack of results, such as followers or sales and letdowns, many people give up and become discouraged. You have to truly believe in yourself before anyone else can believe in you. You have to, in the words of my big sister, show and prove. You literally must apply yourself, put in that work and practice. Step out of your comfort zone every now and then and perfect your craft, your talents. Don't always try to cut corners, but stay ready and cater to your goal and mission. Do not get distracted by the naysayers or unsupportive friends and family. Because I tell you, once you do make it, everyone around you will talk about how they knew you. Your efforts matter. Consider it you are planting the seeds along the way. And throughout time, you nurture those seeds and water the seeds, and they will bloom. You are the flower that rose from the concrete, the flower that rose through difficult circumstances, the flower that rose through difficult storms. Things take time to develop, so don't give up after the first try. In fact, try again and again if you must. Pursue your passions just as we are here on Presente. No one gave us the microphone and said, here, start a podcast. No one gave us the blueprint either. And yet, every week, we are determined to come together and speak on topics that matter to us that may be of help to others. We are committed and enjoying it in the process. We hope that we may be of an example to you all to keep going, to put in the work and follow your purpose, and do not give up. If you would like to learn more about imposter syndrome, please check out this article written by Melody J. Wilding. You can catch her article at themuse.com/advice/5 different types of imposter syndrome. She references a book by Dr. Valerie Young, 5 Types of Imposter Syndrome, that is available on Amazon.